I'm Heather Davis, and I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Wise Primary School. And I'm going to begin by giving you a little bit of background about myself. I have always been very passionate about reading and writing, and I actually chose teaching as a career so that I could pass on this love to my students. In 2008, I submitted a book for publication to a publishing company called Publish America, and my book was actually accepted for publication, and so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And the name of the book is Lamb and the Pickle Eating Bear, and of course I'm the author and illustrator. So what that means, boys and girls, is that I actually wrote the story and I also drew the pictures. So I'm the author and the illustrator, because the story actually stems from a true story about my son Landon, and something that we encountered at dinner time in my home one evening, and of course I decided to run with it and write a story about it. And as we read, I'm going to stop and, just like I would do with my class, and maybe ask some questions and give you some time to reflect, and then we'll proceed. I don't like Piscetti. Open up, Buttercup. Little Lamb grimaced as he thought of eating the oodles of noodles that sat before him. Now, I know grimace is probably a word that you guys may not have heard before, so I'm going to stop for a minute and explain that word to you. A grimace is just like an expression. It's like maybe a twist of your face, maybe if you are like in pain or if you dislike something. So if you would just think about maybe a food that you really dislike and that you were forced to eat that food, the type of face that you may make. You may grimace. So Little Lamb grimaced as he thought of eating the oodles of noodles that sat before him. 3 more bites, then Daddy might take you for a walk in the woods after dinner. Little Lamb's face lit up with excitement. Will we see a bear? Maybe, chuckled Daddy as he slurped his spaghetti noodles. 1, 2, one more bite in. I want a pickle, blurted Little Lamb as he stared curiously at the round, full jar in the middle of the dinner table. Now, we also come to another word here, and that's the word blurt. If you blurt out, that means that to blurt is like a sudden thing. You really don't think about it. You just kind of blurt out, and you might even interrupt someone. So he was excited and he blurted out at the dinner table. A pickle, said Mama. A pickle, said Daddy. Yep, I'm a big boy. Baby Jude can't have one because he's just a baby. Last bite. 3, said Mama. Good boy, Lamb. I need a bag. What kind of bag? Asked Mama. That kind. Little Lamb pointed to the box of plastic sandwich bags lying on the counter. I think that bear will like pickles, Little Lamb said as he proudly placed his pickle into the bag. Okay, so again, at this point we can start making predictions again. What do we think is going on in Little Lamb's mind here? He's using his imagination. He's thinking about, going into the woods and potentially giving a bear a pickle. So, another thing I'd like to stop and talk about too is when we think of pickles, that's just not really something that we would normally think of a bear eating. So, of course, we also, we have that, his imagination is kind of already coming into play here. So, Daddy and Little Lamb walked down the lane, past the old barn, around the fish pond, and finally up the hill toward the backwoods. That night, before bed, Little Lamb wanted his usual a bear story. Tell me about the bear finding my pickle. Daddy said that while we're asleep tonight, he'll get hungry and want a snack. Little Lamb, do you really think bears eat pickles? Yep, I'm sure of it. You just wait and see, Mama. Tomorrow, that pickle will be gone. The next day, Little Lamb couldn't wait for his daddy to get home. He had been on his best behavior all day. He had helped Mama with the baby, picked up all of his toys, and even practiced his ABCs 3 times. At dinner time, he had eaten all of his vegetables and had drunk all of his milk. Daddy pushed back his plate. "Are you ready to go, son?" Little Lamb jumped up, ran to get his boots and hat, and plowed through the kitchen door. One more thing, Mama," Lamb said out of breath. "I'll just need one more pickle." So again, making predictions here. Like we said earlier, readers make predictions all the time as they read. We use what the text gives us, and also, we use some of our own personal experiences to help us make a prediction. So we're going to try and make a smart guess as to what we think may happen next in the story. So I'd like for you to just think for a minute. Would you predict that Little Lamb goes into the woods and the pickle is not there, which would mean that the bear ate the pickle? Or would you predict that the pickle was still there and he was really disappointed because the bear had not eaten the pickle? So think about that just for a minute before we go to the next page and see what your prediction would be. Lamb and his daddy walked their usual route, down the lane, past the old barn, around the fish pond, and finally up the hill toward the backwoods. Mama couldn't wait to hear Little Lamb's bear story. She wondered if he would be disappointed to find that the pickle was still there. Finally, Mama heard commotion coming from behind the house. And commotion is just noise that catches your attention. Little Lamb, with a huge grin on his dirt-stained face, marched in and belted out, "He got it, Mama! The pickle! He ate the pickle! I left another one for a snack tonight." That night, Mama told him another story about his pickle-eating bear. And so if you predicted that the pickle wasn't there, then you were correct. And if you made a different prediction, of course, you can kind of change your train of thought as to what may happen next. Every evening at dinner, he insisted on another pickle, and he became more excited with each new trip to the woods. At night, Mama flourished his imagination with great tales about the bear and his appetite for pickles. The stories became wild and adventurous, and Little Lamb could hardly wait to hear the stories at bedtime. Mama turned to Little Lamb and said, "Let's finish this one tomorrow night. It's time to go to sleep." "Come on, Mama. Tell me more. How does it end?" "I'll tell you the rest tomorrow night. We may start earlier, and pop some popcorn." Okay. And again, there was a big word, kind of a larger word there earlier in the story, and it talked about Mama flourishing his imagination. And the word flourish just means like to grow or to help develop. Sweet dreams, my precious baby. "I'm not a baby. I'm a big boy," said Little Lamb stubbornly. "Don't forget to say your prayers, big boy," said Mama. As Mama closed the door, Little Lamb's mind continued to race with thoughts about the stories Mama had told him. He suddenly jumped out of bed, pulled back the curtain, and stared into the dark night. "I hope that pterodactyl finds the potato chips I left for him." Okay, so at this point we see that the character Little Lamb has really taken off with his imagination. And so, now he is imagining pterodactyls, which we know are extinct. Now he's imagining that a pterodactyl may get his, potato chips. He's leaving snacks like potato chips for extinct dinosaurs. Okay. Mama snuggled close up to Daddy on the sofa and whispered, "We need to find another snack for Lamb's Bear. Pickle breath. And that's the end. And so I have a question for you. Why do you think that Mama called or said to Daddy, pickle breath? So I'd like for you to think about that for a minute. One ending that we could think about, one interpretation is maybe that the daddy was eating the pickles and that he and Mother were actually just trying to create an opportunity for some good storytelling in their home. And there's some other interpretations, and as readers we always have, we can have different interpretations, based on our own experiences and things from different stories. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and I can't wait to read another one to you very soon. Thank you.